Come on, Ben. Strong pull. Come on now. Get right. There you go. Good. Down slow. Control the weight. Control the weight. Yep. Here we go.
I wish that I could fly into the sky.
Let us handle the weight for you.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to go too fast. There's no reason to go too heavy. How'd that feel on a scale of 1 to 10?
I don't know, man. Maybe a 7.
We're gonna go baby steps. It's been a while.
So did you only do 1 rep of this?
Let's do 10-5. Let's do 10-5. It's not about what you can do today, you know. It's about building. We're gonna try to build towards something.
Yeah, I want to see what's a good weight today, and then every time I come into super training, I can make sure I'm getting stronger.
Oh, we got a 10 on each side. And a 5 on each side. Nice, good. Perfect. Like a 25 and maybe a 5er on top too.
25-5?
All right.
Is this a 45 bar or more?
Like 65, I think. Good. Good. A lot of energy still in there.
That felt good.
I don't know if you saw the feature of this bar, but
Notice the thick handles.
well, to put the weight on, you go like this.
Oh my God! And here I was. Wow.
Yo, you weren't doing that
What a
before?
great bar.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, this is Chris stuff.
I didn't know that existed. I think this is what Mr. Infinity and I should get, is one of these bars
Absolutely.
once a week. This seems like a very safe and stable test.
Yes.
I mean, actually, for farmers carries, that thick grip would probably be a good, safe way to do it. Plus, like, my mom could like walk just holding the thick grip with an empty bar. I kind of want to get the next one, feeling it.
Good. Go, Ben.
Let's go.
Nice. Good. It looks like Ben might be able to pull around 5 plates on this pretty easily. Looks pretty explosive. Form is really good, but it's just been a long time since he's done anything real heavy. So
Look at that.
taking
Then
him
you
through
put
it
weight on
slowly
like
but
that.
surely. One of his goals for 2022 is he wants to put on some weight.
Yep.
And one of the fastest ways to throw you off your goal is to get hurt. So the whole thing here is for, let's have him hit a heavy single for today, but it's heavy. It's not a real like max for today.
Yeah.
We probably won't max unless.
Yeah, Mr. Infinity, Derek is my training partner, and we train to feel unbelievable on the basketball court as we age. And for me now, being in my 30s, having reached 20, never grabbed the rim, now this Sunday, I know I'm going to just be able to take the basketball and just go up there and dunk. Right. That's my everything. I want to dunk when my kid can dunk. But I also want to be respectable of the fitness community. I'd like to have some more muscle mass. How can I, patiently gain some more muscle mass without changing everything that's worked for me? So Mark gave me the idea of using this as a barometer. This bar is actually, I was over here struggling with the weights, and Mark showed me how you just go like that. So this gives me something that I can kind of safely have a heavy loading test. And I'm not gonna go to the point of like feeling pain and stuff like that, but this, that last one was probably around 400 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's allowing me to get some heavy stimulus into the body.
Go ahead and grab a little chalk. You got some chalk right here? Magic chalk.
Yeah. And this will give me a safe barometer of strength.
Let's go.
Come on, Ben. Nice.
It's a good one.
How'd that feel?
Felt good. It feels really good because the bar is so balanced.
Right.
That actually you'll notice, like, when I'm going down on the eccentric, I can really I'm almost, rather than just trying to get here and drop it, I'm letting it kind of dig into those legs.
Yeah.
I think maybe one more.
Yep.
One more, we'll see what weight that is.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get one of these bars for our gym in Florida. I also really love, I really love how it has this thick handle. Because another idea from Mark, imagine if there was no weight on this bar and we were using the thick handles. My mom could do that exercise to keep grip strength, neck strength, So I think of every exercise as ridiculous as this may sound, but really what's helped me to jump as high as I do is making sure that every exercise in my program, my mom likes doing. Because that means it really scales and it's safe. So this, I would say, in the ATG program would be an optional test, but I would say, so would you guys say this would probably be like the safest test of someone who's like, look, I'm liking ATG, but I want to be strong. I want to know what my strength is.
It's really helpful
What do you
for people to be able to, that want to put on a little bit of size, because the more strength that you have, just the more access you have to being able to lift a little heavier in a lot of other things. So potentially by doing this movement, you're working your lower back, you're working your legs, you're working your stomach. And by strengthening all those things, when you go to do anything that's any of the exercises you recommend, you should be slightly stronger on most of those exercises, including like 45-degree back raises. You might be able to actually use some weight on them and stuff like that. The power lifts are amazing, because if you were to ask, if you went to one of your seminars and you asked everybody in the room, said, okay, who here has lifted the most weight, you know, and what was it, and in what exercise was it? It wouldn't be in an overhead squat. It wouldn't be an Olympic lift, most likely. It wouldn't be on a curl. It wouldn't be on any bodybuilding movement, or it would be a powerlifting movement. Most likely it would be a squat or a deadlift. Most frequently is what you see. So those exercises lend themselves great opportunity for people to overload the body. And we know how important that can be for muscle growth, hypertrophy, and even just making your body more dense and having bigger bones.
Yep. And I could see how using the thick grip on, you know, farmer's carry,
Yep.
I really like how this is open, because when I do farmer's carry, of course, I then go backward.
Ah, there you go.
So I really like, this seems a lot safer for doing a forward and backward farmer's carry. Scales to any level by going no weight. And I could see how doing that, say once a week, and then also once a week, you know, just going to like a quality weight on this, I think it'll be really good for my plan this year. I gotta do more, be more. Can't settle and stay the same.
Before you do like a dunk where you're gonna maybe take off and, like, I don't know, maybe go a little, like jump a little further than normal, or you're going to do something crazy like a 360 or something like that, do you psych yourself up for it a little bit, or like what do you usually do? What feels good to you?
Oh man,
Like
I
not
don't know.
just dunking in a game, but
That's
like when you-
it. That's a good question. I think it's that moment you just zone everything out and you get so in the moment. I'm trying Sunday, I'm trying something that I haven't been able to do. So I'm taking my ATG buddies under the rim and I'm trying to do like a reverse dunk with the ball, like from a squat position. But I actually think that supplementing this to the ATG system will make me jump even higher.
But here's what I'd like you to do is get some chalk on, walk down there a little bit, and you don't need to yell or scream or act crazy.
Yeah.
You just do whatever comes natural to you, but just concentrate and focus on this lift and kind of envision yourself doing well on the lift and that kind of thing. Whatever you would do for your basketball.
Yeah, I think that's what I do. I think I visualize, and I'm also very good at not taking a loss on it. If I miss something I'm trying to do, I don't take a loss, but I keep visualizing it. So this
Here
would
we
be.
go. Be strong now. Let's
Go.
go.
Let's go, Ben.
Come on, Ben.
Easy work.
Be strong. It's going to take a couple seconds to get it off the ground. Then it'll be home free once you do that. There we go. Stay with it.
Drive.
Good. Woo! Nice.
Nice.
That was great. That's I think it's about 465 pounds. I'm not sure because I don't know if the bar weighs more than that, but anyway.
Well, it's gonna have good effect on my body.
Yeah.
Because I've never lifted something that heavy. I've never lifted 465. So this is this bar puts me in a. I can see that's as safe as a position as I can get to go heavy, you know. And I'm gonna use that as a gauge. So even next time when the first step I think for me would probably be doing 465, but you know, even easier, you know, rather than just always pushing more load. So I'll stay in touch with Mark, and I'll make sure that anyone trying to copy what I'm doing, that we have like a really safe approach. Maybe I would alternate next week, and maybe I would just do like 10 reps or something, you know, something to keep it safe, but where I do think knowing, okay, right now, that's what 465 felt like. When I come back to super train next year, I should do 500.
A really good workout would be 315 for like 5 sets of 5 with like 90 seconds rest.
Yeah.
It would be a lot harder than you think, because you're like 315, that shouldn't be that hard in comparison to this. But something like that would be really challenging because it's in a condensed period of time and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
People make sure they control the eccentric, the downward motion of the lift, because most people when they start deadlifting, they're here, then they're just boom. But controlling that eccentric is going to make a big old difference for overall deadlift strength.
Yeah.
Nsima, what do you think? Like, this is I think this is a pretty big testament to his programming. I mean, what's the most weight you ever? I mean, the most weight you ever
I
lifted
can only
was.
remember doing on like 425.
And how long ago was that?
That was years ago when I was probably 20 pounds heavier.
Like how long? Like 5 years ago?
At least. Yeah.
So you haven't lifted anything that would be around 400 pounds.
No.
In at least 5 years.
I don't think anything in my program is over body weight. Meaning, like, I think the highest I would have is lifting my own weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess what exercises do you do in your training where you do use the most weight, and how much weight is it? I've seen you squat before with like maybe 2 plates and stuff like that. And
yeah, like currently try to master like my own body weight, on my back on squats, but adding things like chains and slants, and so you're getting strong in these angles. Even on something like an ATG split squat, even half body weight, man, you can get a ton out of that. So I would say currently just mastering half body weight on a split squat and body weight on squats, but really improving those positionings, and then using the sled work to really drive that, that shorter mid-range strength.
so it's really rare for you to. Would you say this is fair? It's rare for you to use over 100 pounds on anything.
Yeah.
So I want people that are listening to. There's so many more components to strength than just lifting heavy ass weight. This guy is really fit and he's in great shape as well. So that's another component to all this. But also being able to move out of poor positions, which is stuff that I worked on a lot when I was powerlifting. But I did it quite differently because I would lean forward a lot in a squat, and I didn't really know about these deeper end ranges of motion. I kind of wish that I did, because that would have been really cool to see what I've been able to do. But I would do good mornings that put me in a really shit position with hundreds and hundreds of pounds. It would be like 600 pounds, which sounds like a lot of weight, but it represented 60% of what I lifted on the platform, and sometimes even less, depending on how strong I was for the competition.
Yeah, and I think the seated good morning is one of the reasons my back stays strong. Nsima came up with the cable seated good morning.
Yeah, how strong was he? I mean, when we were doing stuff yesterday, right?
Yeah, super strong. But the one thing I was going to mention, because like this is actually 475, there you go. But your spine. When most people do a lift like this and they start to go heavy and they start to approach their limit as far as how heavy they'll lift, when they lift, they'll start lifting, and then this will
be lower back.
Their spinal position gets fucked. Your spinal position, exactly. The spinal position didn't change. It stayed perfectly neutral, even though you were moving slow. And you could have done more than this.
I tried not to jerk it off the ground. I knew it would be smarter not to try jerk. But let me show you something else. So Nsima has really figured out how to polish the seated good morning with the cable. And then Mark has actually really figured out how to polish the VMO. And I'm going to show you why, because when you go to do a max effort lift like that, you're relying on that lockout strength. But locking out is not the only way to get your VMO stronger. And in fact, this is how I warmed up for the deadlift. Was actually by using assistance here, and it scales. You can see if you go very wide on a band, notice very wide on a band, it's almost like I can almost like do like chin-ups. As you go closer, there's less help.
Yep. You turn the band into a rope when you go out wider, more support.
But what I'm trying to do is not just a regular squat, and I'm not trying to do a sissy squat. I'm actually just trying to get my butt as close to my heel as I can. So in my case, my butt actually hits my heel. That means this is the most I can actually bend my knee. And out of the bottom, I'm firing that VMO. This matters because the deeper we bend, it becomes almost exclusively VMO to get out of the bottom position. So what's funny is this exercise for 3 to 4 sets, 25 to 50 reps, even if you never, because notice you can go higher, this is less assistance. I could go no assistance. But that, all I lifted was my body weight there, but that actually can get you stronger for something like that deadlift.
Absolutely.
But I'm not naive enough to think that not lifting heavy is the way to maximize lifting heavy. So I'm definitely gonna rely on these guys, and I'll keep it publicly up to date, whatever like the sets, reps, how that works each week. I'll make sure it's fully documented. So now it's like, if I want, that's what 465 felt like, or 475. If I want to come in here next year and do, say, 500 for 5-10 reps, because of my existing program, if I can do that by next year, I'll probably be jumping higher than ever. So I'm not going to throw away what's worked, but I'm also not going to be naive and think that I'm going to increase my maximal strength without any maximal strength. So I'm going to follow what these guys say for the next 12 months, be realistic about it. And I think if I could get, because that was heavy for me, so I think if I could be doing 500 for like reps for someone, you know, lanky and 180 pounds, That would be pretty good.
And you'll probably be like 190 or 195 by that point next year. Just being real.
Maybe.
Yeah. And
Maybe.
still running
Maybe.
faster and jumping higher,
Yeah.
most likely.
Yeah. So huge thanks to these guys. They're helping me level up. Mark just made the biggest knee innovation of this year. And Nsima helped make a major breakthrough on the seated good morning, which is my foundational back exercise. So super appreciative.
I feel sore from a lot of that stuff yesterday.
History has been changed thanks to these guys figuring out how to smoothen out some of my favorite exercises. TMO's driving through.
Nice.
Get a lot of air each time. A lot of air into your
That
stomach.
is
There you go. Good brace.
There we go.
Good. Hold at the top for about 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Down slow. There we go. Nice work.
You know, an interesting thing about when he deadlifts, it's that it's not super hip driven. You notice that?
Yeah.
It's very like,
It's like he's jumping.
yeah, he's like literally going here, and then he's driving through, and then he has hip extension, but then once he comes down, he doesn't hip extension immediately. He goes boom, like he goes right here,
Right.
back into the knees, which is different.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Most people don't use their legs enough when they deadlift.
don't.
Yeah.
And the value of that eccentric loading. So each time I get it up, I'm like, yes, I got it up. Because now understanding training physiology, the amount of gain you can get by now fighting down, that's making it so I can be landing from any position in the basketball court
Yeah.
without hurting my knee. So just think about the difference between if I just went here versus right there.
Right.
Now you have the #1 knee bulletproofer for sport. Is actually would be like controlling down on that. So that's addicting. That's
He wants to
addicting.
keep going.
But I'm so glad I waited and have just stuck with the ATG system and not messed with it and lined up with you guys to do it right, you know, and not be around people who are going to rush me or make me change who I am or start doing, you know, exercise like this aligns. This every week I do this is going to make my knee more bulletproof on the
I think
eccentrics.
what you could do, because you are so hyperactive, that you could probably do some upper body movements in between your
Yeah.
deadlifts.
It's true, because like I was wanting to go over there
Yeah,
and
yeah,
do
you
and do
just-
more of those.
it's
do more of
in
those
your-
between.
It's in your
Um,
DNA.
And I think it's the basketball thing that you do give an explosive output and then you rest a little bit and then it's so I don't want to take that long, like that long break was kind of, so you guys will keep helping me polish like what is like the knees over toes guy deadlift program, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll do it like every Sunday and I'll focus for it, you know what I mean? And it's gonna be fun as heck. I'm gonna order one of these immediately.